I believe, if that's correct. So we're going to continue on today in terms of the discourse with everything is energy and light. We've talked a lot here at the Spirit of Lotus about how everything is connected. Everything in the universe. So I am connected to the chairs in front of me here at our Santa Clara location, connected to the stars, connected to the cars outside, connected to every living being on this planet. Sometimes it's hard to accept this connection, mainly because if we're focused on the physical plane, and we're focused on different objects, such as ourselves, there's this perceived separation between us and other things. So a perceived separation between me and you, a perceived separation between me and the chairs in the room I'm in, the stars, the cars, etc. And because of this perceived separation among objects on this physical plane, we get it into our conscious and subconscious minds that there is separation. The reality of the situation, though, is that everything is energy. You're going to find a lot of different spiritual lineages talking about this from a more spiritual perspective, but physicists agree with this too. Physicists know that everything is energy. So even though on this physical plane, if we're just using our two eyes, it looks like everything is solid. We're solid, the chairs are solid, the cars are solid. That is not, in fact, true. In fact, most physicists will tell you that everything is about 99.999999% space. And in that space, intermixed with it, is energy. Everything is composed of atoms, and atoms are energy. And this is pretty interesting because the same atoms that make up our physical body make up every other object that you can talk about in this universe. Whether it's a tree, whether it's an ant, whether it's a tire, whether it's a star, everything is made up of atoms. And since atoms are energy, everything is made up of energy. In the past, I've talked about the famous Einstein equation, which sums this up. We're all familiar with it. E equals mc squared. So energy equals the mass of any object, irrespective of what the object is, times the speed of light squared. So, not only is everything energy, as demonstrated by that particular equation, but even in the smallest piece of matter, you have a tremendous amount of energy. So, for example, the easiest example I can come up with is the atomic bomb. The atomic bomb is literally using atoms and the energy within them to create a tremendous explosion. So even though an atom bomb may be 5, 6, 7 feet long, the power within it, using these atoms, can destroy a tremendous amount of other mass and energy. It's that kind of energy which is contained within each and every one of us, within our atoms. This is how powerful human beings are, and really everything that contains energy. So we're all energy, we're all connected by this energy, and we ask the question, where does this energy come from? And I did a little bit of research on this in preparation for today's discourse. And I know in the past that I've talked about the singularity. And I didn't realize this until today, but apparently that's a somewhat outdated concept, at least according to some astrophysicists. So what is a singularity? The singularity is that point in time right before the Big Bang. And in that point, in that singularity, that infinitesimally small point, everything, and I mean everything, existed. So we have this point, and then we have the Big Bang. And from that Big Bang, everything came forth. Time started, time as we know it. Before the Big Bang, there was no time. So Big Bang, now from this point, we have time, we have gravity, we have energy, we have really the creation of the universe as we know it. Solar systems, galaxies, stars, everything from this little point. So when you hear people talk about the Big Bang singularity, that's what they're talking about. Over time, scientists, in analyzing the universe, they found that this singularity theory may not hold water. It does not explain everything that's going on. So there's some new theories now. And one of them is called bouncing cosmology. And I bring up bouncing cosmology because the way I understand it, it's very similar to some of the traditions in the Hindu faith about creation and energy and how it works. So according to this theory of bouncing cosmology, the universe is not a particular age. So when you talk about the Big Bang and singularity, assuming that's all true, then people postulate that this universe is about 14 billion years old. So from Big Bang until now, 14 billion years. Under the bouncing cosmology theory, there is no age to the universe. The universe is eternal. And bouncing cosmology postulates that we have these endless expansions and contractions of the universe. This has happened from time immemorial and will continue to happen into the future endlessly, infinitely. So under this theory, there is no age to the universe. It always was, is, and always will be. And these expansions and contractions of the universe is similar to the Hindu tradition when they talk about yugas. And during these periods, these cycles, these yugas, you have things happen and then contract, and then another yuga, and then contract. So I find that very fascinating, that we have theories now that are very similar to religious traditions that go back thousands and thousands of years. So we have, irrespective of what theory you buy into, whether it's the Big Bang singularity or the bouncing cosmology, they both indicate that everything is energy. We're all energy. And so taking that into account, what do we do as spiritual people with that knowledge? How does it impact us? How does it affect us? And what should we do with it? So when we say that we are connected, that is not just true on a spiritual level. It's true on a physical level. It's true on all levels. When we say that other individuals in the human race are our brothers and sisters, that is literally true. we are literally composed of the exact same energy. We literally came from the exact same energy. It doesn't matter if we're black or white or Asian. If you break it down to a subatomic level, all of that goes away. Color of the skin goes away, male, female goes away, and we're just left with energy. It's this connection that lets us know that whatever we do affects everything, literally everything in the universe. If you take this in a somewhat simplified form, all of us know if we're in a room and let's say we're with a group of people and we're having a good time, if somebody else comes into that room and they have a negative energy, maybe that's just part of who they are, or they're just in a really bad mood, when they enter that room, that affects everybody in the room and everything in the room. That's how powerful your own energy is, and it gives you an idea of how it impacts. I have a dog, and I only bring this up because it's somewhat relevant to what I'm talking about. If I'm in a bad mood, my dog instantly knows. He'll stay away from me. And he's a good marker or indicator that I need to calm what's going on within me, bring myself back to a peaceful state. And when I do that, then he comes over and he's friendly and wags his tail. So he's picking it up. Everybody can pick it up, though, depending on how sensitive you are to this. The point I'm trying to make is the Bible talks about Christ being the light of the world. Light is energy. When we talk about being the light of the world, what they're talking about is changing and transmuting your energy so that you are love and peace and joy. If you are radiating that type of energy, you are the light of the world. You are impacting things for the better. And again, I know this is somewhat difficult to grasp given the limitations of our physical mind, but if we do this, if we are radiating positive energy, if we are the light of the world, everything that we see in front of us is affected by that. Everything on the opposite end of the earth is affected by that. Everything going out into the universe is affected by that. What's happening on Pluto is affected by it. Millions and millions and millions of light years from here. Everything to the farthest reaches of this galaxy is affected by it. The importance of this is each one of us has the ability to control our energy, to be a positive influence. You don't have to have a particular type of job. You don't have to be out in the public to change the world. You can be anything. Any race, any sex, any religion. If you change your energy for the better through your spiritual practices, you are literally bettering the world, and you are literally the light of the world. This fabric of creation, it has these, sometimes I talk about these lines of light and energy that connect you to past deeds, past thoughts. It's true. It really is true. Um, but it's not just that. When I refer to that, I'm talking about detachment and staying in the present, um, and all of that is important. But it's really all important in the end, because by being in the present, by being mindful, you're changing your energy. Because we're all connected through this fabric of creation, this energy fabric, again, you are literally changing everything. So that's what I wanted to share today, and we have time now for a deep level meditation. Thank you.